Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think for us, man, it's a situation where it's perception over reality. I think we're really young. We neophytes in this political system. We really don't understand how it actually works. We're 14% of the population, and I think for us to want somebody to give us something that we don't understand how this thing works, especially with our issues. Our issues are not popular. The majority is against us, and this thing is about power. So most of our issues, 7% of America is not with it. And so we have to have a vehicle where we can work through it and try to leverage power through a system of the government that's going to actually benefit us. And
Can I ask you? You said our issues are not popular. Can you specify which issues you're referring to?
anything, any one of them, education, our education is not popular. I mean, we've been knowing forever that it's a disparity in education. We know that, and we've been trying to get white America to understand that, but to no avail. They come in, CRT, critical race theory, and we hop right on board with them to push CRT out. It's always been a migration for us to their issues, but with our issues that are extremely relevant, clear and present, they're just issues just for us. We never get
Okay.
on
Can I
board for a
ask you?
majority to make change happen.
All right. Let
So
me ask you this question. You said it's not popular, right? You said so. Are you saying that that is the reason why the Democrats can't do it or won't do it because it's not popular?
no, 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 no. I'm not saying the Democrats can or can't. I'm saying that we're only 14% of the population. And I'm saying the way our government works, we're a republic. The majority rules. So when these representatives are looking at our issues, if they're not popular, it's hard for them to vote for them.
Well,
And I go
and
ahead.
but the thing is that that kind of falls. That kind there's a flaw in that logic because the Asian American community makes up a much smaller population than the Black American community. Now, even
Right.
if you say we're 14%, they make up not even half of what we make up. And yet, when it comes to legislation, they don't have nearly as much pushback. When it came to the Asian crime bill that they came up with, they don't have nearly
Right.
as much pushback when it comes to that stuff.
Right.
So
But and that's what I'm
it
saying.
becomes the thing of when we talk about and the reason I'm saying that I'm going to give you the floor to answer. When we
Okay.
talk about what we need as a community, it becomes well, it has to be popular. We make up a small percentage, but the thing is that the Democratic Party look at this mass illegal immigration. That was not popular. Most of America voted against that. Most of everybody said that they did not approve of that. That's why Harris was losing in a lot of the polls because of that. The Democrats kept pushing it anyway. So they do a lot of stuff that's unpopular. Males going into the bathroom of females, that's very unpopular, but they still push that agenda too. And their community, the trans community, is a very, very tiny community in America. Yet they push certain agendas that benefit them. So
But
that's what I'm
again,
saying. It's like we always got to move the goalposts when it comes to us.
I'm not moving the goalpost. It's exactly what I said it is. Just like you talk about the Asian crime bill. That has support from both sides. So Democrats have been consistent. It just has support from the Republican side. The George Floyd
Okay, but
bill,
no,
it
no, no,
only
no. It's
had
not.
it
It's
only
not
had
been.
it only had support from one side. The Republicans voted
First off,
against it.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. It with that excuse, then that means that when the Democrats have both House and Senate, which they've had during Biden's administration and they also had during Trump's administration, then they should be able to do things. The and we articulated this earlier that the Democrats constantly use the Republicans and the Republican pushback as an excuse to not do stuff specifically for our community. When they don't want to do stuff, there was certain bills that Biden said that he would veto when Congress didn't, because Congress has the purse. When Congress didn't want to send more money to Ukraine, Biden said that he's going to veto laws until Congress opened up the wallet for Ukraine to get funded more money. So the president can do stuff and they can block stuff. This administration has had several gridlocks and several vetoes because the Republicans don't want to cooperate. So it's a thing of they fight for things that they want, but when it comes to us, they ask like, "Hey, do you guys want this?" Okay, no. Okay, well, we'll just forget about it then.
But
It's this
but
constant excuse making about
host, do
we
you hear
got
what
to
I'm
blame the
saying though, host?
Republicans.
But do you hear what I'm saying? I'm saying you have only one side. When you have support from both sides, it's easier to get things done.
It
You have
is
like
easier to get things
again,
done, but
like I'm
there,
saying, the
what I'm
age
saying,
is see what I'm saying?
brother,
Address
but
what I'm
what
saying with
I'm
the Asian
saying
crime bill. We've been talking about
now,
this crime bill.
it is bipartisan, and it goes to prove my point that they do things. Both parties do things for other groups of people. Both parties want things done for other groups of people. Biden could have used his DOJ to do anything to help black people. Biden's DOJ didn't do nothing to help black people. Okay, that's why they let Carolyn Bryan walk.
Um,
Biden's DOJ completely allowed Carolyn Bryan to walk because they didn't want to do anything. And we use the case of California. In California, you didn't have any Republican pushback, any Republicans stopping it, but the Democrats didn't allow the reparations bill to even get to the floor for a vote.
Again, you're conflating issues. The reparations
No,
is not the same as the George Floyd Act. Those are two different things
sir.
because that's what I'm
No,
saying. We
no,
have
I'm talking
politics.
about the principle. No, no, no. I'm not talking about the issues. I'm talking about the principle, though. I'm talking about the principle of things being done to
But
benefit other groups of people. Even if there's Republican pushback, they can find a way, they can find a loophole, and they can find a way to get it through. They can push to get it through. But when it comes to us, it's the, oh, well, we got to make sure it's bipartisan. Everything that benefits us absolutely has to be bipartisan, but it doesn't
listen
have
to
to be that way when it comes to other groups of people, because I
that.
can guarantee you millions of illegal immigrants coming over to the United States was absolutely not bipartisan, but they still was able to get that done.
Host, that's what I'm saying. You jumping across, and these are not as simple as you trying to make them. And again, what I'm saying is, with the California thing, with the reparations in California, it's politics. You just don't snap your fingers and it happened. It didn't end. It's a process. You just don't go from no
So we
reparations to
went
start
what?
paying everybody. I mean, listen to what I'm saying. 'Cause
No, we
you're
went
not
through
really hearing
we
what I'm
did
saying.
studies, sir. We did 2 years of studies. Don't We didn't just ask for it and they said no. We did 2 years of studies on the task force.
I didn't say
And
so. So
then
you expect
with those two
reparations just to
years of
pop up?
studies being done, there was a 100-page letters and notes that was made. With that, they made several bills for reparations out of an 100-page essay, essentially from years of studying reparations in specifically California. And
Host,
then
I'm not fighting that.
when we got to all of that, it was the Democrats, it was the Democrats who decided to let that bill die. It was the Democrats who decided to let that bill go
No,
without
that's
pushing
not
for it to
true.
go to the Gavin Newsom.
What I'm saying, host, that's what I'm saying. That's not true. That's not true. And that's what I'm
That
saying. We
is
have to
true,
understand.
brother.
Listen to what I'm
That
saying.
is true. The Black
No, that is
Caucus
not true.
admitted it. They did. They
No.
admitted it multiple times afterwards. That yes, they
Okay.
did.
Let me talk. Let me talk, man. I'm saying when I
Go
say
ahead.
that's not true, I'm saying it's a political process that goes through. I mean, only 43% of Californians even agree with even having a task force for reparations. So you want the governor to sign something that's at least 60% unpopular. So it's a political game where they haven't gave up on it. But it's a political process that have to
No,
go
it
through,
did.
especially
First
when you're
off,
dealing with
okay,
something that's
let me ask you,
unpopular.
how much, if we did a poll in California, how many people in California do you think would agree with Biden's mass illegal immigration?
Biden's mass
That
illegal
the governor
immigration.
of California, that the governor of California was subsidizing. How many people do you think, how many taxpayers in California do you think would agree that their tax paying dollar should be spent on immigrants breaking into the country illegally? What
I,
percentage?
I don't know. Let's say 30%.
You think 30 are you serious? You think 30% would agree with that?
Would agree with what? I mean, I'm just saying the way you put it, that's what I'm
Go
saying.
look at
That
the map of
I don't
California
even
for this
agree
last
with what you're
election.
saying. But if you're gonna say it like that, that's 30%. If you understand government, and that's what I'm saying. If we
No,
understand
sir.
government
Look,
and
no,
how
no, no,
politics
because you
work, that's
move it.
not
First off,
true.
sir. First off, you moving the goalposts because
I'm not
the
moving the
whole
goalpost.
thing is that it's not. You keep saying it's not popular. It doesn't matter if it is popular. Governors don't sign things based off of what is popular. Otherwise, we would vote. The citizenry would vote on every single legislation, but we don't. That's why we have representatives, and that's why we have people in office so they can represent the population, and the governors and the mayors and the president, and they sign things. That's how it works. Otherwise, what is popular,
Yeah.
because let's be honest, civil rights was not popular. It doesn't need to be popular for it to be signed.
What I'm
Regardless
saying.
of that, we did have a California task force for reparations. They were discussing reparations. They had a bill that was constructed based off of the studies that was found during that task force. And once that bill was constructed for reparations, they did not allow the Congressional Black Caucus did not allow that bill to even get voted on for Gavin Newsom, because it would have to have gotten approved by the Senate in order for it to get voted on and it to become a bill, and then Gavin Newsom was going to sign it or not. They didn't even let it get to Gavin Newsom's desk for
But the
him to
question is
sign it.
why?
And the reason why they didn't do that is because Gavin Newsom had expressed in 2013, not 2013, in 2023, Gavin Newsom had expressed that he didn't want to sign cash payment reparations. So they all knew that Gavin Newsom didn't want to sign it. So that's why they didn't allow the bill to get to Gavin Newsom's desk, because they don't want him to have the stigma on him that he killed the reparations. So they took the fall for him.
No, they didn't put the bill up because they was going to revise it. They knew he wasn't going to sign it. So why take a
No, they
bill to the
so
government that you know he's not going to sign? But that's not the point. What I'm saying, we
sir,
get to
if
start
that's the
jumping
case, no,
around.
if that's the
I like to
case,
take it point
if
by
that's
point.
the case, sir, hold on. If that's the case, let him not sign it then. And then you redraft the bill. But you don't sit up there and take years of wasting people's time and say, we're coming up with a bill, and then you have a bill and then just not let it get to the floor. There was mass protest at the state capitol saying, hey, can y'all at least introduce the bill? And they didn't want to introduce the bill because when you introduce a bill and it gets voted on, you get to see who voted yes or no. And none of them wanted to be responsible for voting no. So they said, you know what, we're just not going to, we're going to sweep it under the rug. What they didn't count on was that people were watching very closely about the reparations bill. So that's why there were mass protests saying, there was people in California saying, hey, at least introduce it to the floor. If Gavin Newsom doesn't want to sign it, let him say that with his chest. But what they did is they gave Gavin Newsom an out. So now Gavin Newsom doesn't have the stigma of vetoing the bill.
But then why are they trying to come? He's trying to position himself for 2028, but he's going to be
Um,
disappointed because we're not going to forget.
I'm saying my point still is we're 14% of the population, and if our wants are unpopular. You're wanting somebody to commit political suicide, or you, the ones within the 14% of the population, is going to turn your back on them.
Okay,
I
Do you
mean,
yes,
that
yes.
think?
that
Because here's
makes
the thing. Hold on.
no
Here's the thing. If our
sense.
wants and demands are unpopular, then our votes should be unpopular. But we're expecting to vote for them without getting our demands met because our demands are unpopular. But we still need to be paying them. We still need to be giving them our vote and keeping them in office even though our demands aren't met because it's not popular. Now, nobody else's demands need to be popular like our demands. Nobody else has to have a popular demand like we do. The LGBT community, the immigrant community, none of these other communities need to have the popular opinion in order for the legislation to be passed for them, but we have to be held to a certain standard that nobody else is held to.
What I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. You start conflating issues. The LGBTQ and all that, that's about basic rights. That's it. What I'm
But
saying,
we
you're
don't
talking about
No,
our
believe.
no,
But
rights.
no, no,
It'll
no,
be
no, no, no,
different.
no, no,
Hold on,
no, no, no,
let me
no,
finish
no,
so we put
no,
apples to apples.
no. Hold on, stop, because that's an incorrect statement.
What you mean?
A biological male going into a sports field for women is not a right. That is not a right, sir.
So you saying the whole Democratic Party support that?
California does.
No, I'm saying the whole. That's what I'm saying. You're saying the whole
What
Democratic
we're
Party
saying, no,
supports that.
sir, you're missing the point. You're missing the point because what you said, it's about popularity. You're making the argument that it's
No,
about popularity. I gave you a political position
hold
that
on.
is vastly unpopular. Majority of America, left or right, don't agree with that. That is a vastly unpopular opinion, but that's still something that the party pushes. The party
What
does
party?
not stand against that.
What party? That's what I'm saying. Are you saying the whole
Democratic
Democratic Party
Party.
as a whole? Or are you saying the Democratic Party in California?
The Democratic Party as a whole, yes.
Oh no. But I don't
she
even want to
ran
digress
on
on that
that.
because I want to compare apples to apples. Just like you're talking about this reparations bill, it'll be different, and everything you saying would be true and correct if it all lined up. That the other side had a reparations bill that they was pushing
No,
for,
no, 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 no. We're not
but you only
talking.
have
No, don't
one
deflect.
side.
Don't deflect. Don't deflect.
It's not
Don't
deflecting.
deflect. We're talking about
It's
the
apples to
Democrats. You're
apples.
deflecting. Don't do that.
No,
Don't do
that's
that.
apples to
We're talking
apples.
about the Democrats. No, we're talking about the Democrats.
No, but that's
Don't
what I'm saying.
deflect now.
So the reason why I say that is because you have to understand politics. If you're on a position, let's take reparations. If you're in a position that I believe black people should get reparations, and 70% of the country is not there with you, then that allows the other party to fearmonger on you gonna give reparations and they get the votes. So I mean, you got to
Sir,
take it all into
sir,
account.
a solid majority of all Americans did not agree with this, with it, millions, by the tens, millions of immigrants breaking into the country, crawling under barbed wire, breaking through the fields in the country, and then the American government subsidizing them. That was a very unpopular, that was not a popular thing at all. In all of the polls, it was showing that all of the American demographics disagreed with that. But that's still something for years that the Democratic Party was doing. So
But
the
see,
whole argument of it needs to, hold on, hold on. The whole argument of it needs to be popular in order for them to do it to black people, but you don't have that same standard. We don't see that same standard be applied when it comes to other groups of people getting things that are more
host,
unpopular.
you do understand you're proving my point because that's
Can I
not
ask
what
a
the
question?
Democratic
Can I ask you
done,
a
but that was
question?
the perception. That was the perception
And
that
then
they
That
gave you,
is what they
and the
did. What are you
Republicans.
talking
You
about?
can't stop. You got to stop interrupt so you hear my point. You're not hearing me. What you're
Okay, go
saying
ahead.
is not reality. But then the Republicans ran on exactly what you just said. They ran on it, fear mongered on it, and got votes and got the whole majority on their side when there was
can I ask you a
nothing
question?
Hold
that the
on, but hold
Democratic
on
Party
before
could
we
do.
go.
against immigration. There was
What you're saying? Hold on,
nothing
hold
to
on.
do.
Let me ask you because I want to clarify because you're saying what I said was wrong. What did I say about the immigration that was incorrect?
That you said that the Democratic Party basically had open borders and started subsidizing immigrants. And that was their
That's
stance.
in.
And
So
that
they.
is not their
So okay.
stance.
So you're saying that it was not Biden who reversed executive orders that allowed them to come over here, and they were not in democratic cities where the democratic government, the mayors, the governors, and all of the people is not the democratic government that was giving them debit cards, that was giving them food stamps, that was giving them free houses, that was
Yes.
giving them work programs.
Correct.
So you're saying that didn't happen. That did not
Correct.
happen.
And all
Yes.
of that has
Biden let
been, and
300,000 people
all
over
of
here.
that has
Yeah, some
been
thousand people.
debunked. And the way they ended up in
Sir,
democratic
where do
cities,
you live?
hold up,
Sir,
I
where do
gotta
you live?
finish.
Sir, where
I
do
gotta
you live?
finish.
Sir,
I
that's
gotta
true
finish.
that he let over
Sir, where do
I
you
gotta
no,
300,000
no,
people
I
over
need to
here.
know where you live. Because
I
in
live in
Chicago,
Texas.
I can see it. In
Right.
Chicago, I can see
I live in
it.
And
California.
my governor, Greg Abbott in Texas, is the one that sent them to Chicago.
No, either it happened or it didn't happen,
It
sir.
did
It
Now
did
happen.
happen. My governor in Texas, Abbott,
you
sent
just
them
said
to
it didn't
Chicago
happen.
to get the
You
same
literally
reaction
just
from you that
said,
he's getting.
sir, you literally just said that it did not happen.
I did not say it. That's what I'm saying. You're not listening
Yes,
to
you
what I'm
did.
Yeah,
saying.
you,
I
sir.
did not say it didn't
Sir,
happen. I
yes,
said
you
that is
did.
not their stance. I said that
No,
is not
okay,
the
sir.
Democratic
It's what
stance.
they did. It's what
That's
they
what he
did,
did.
sir. Let me specify. Let me put this. Let me reword this.
Okay, reword
Did
it.
under the Democrats, did it happen? Yes or no?
Did what happened?
Were millions of illegal immigrants allowed to come in the country and they went to sanctuary cities where mostly black people stay in, and the
Are you
government,
crazy?
which includes the state government, the city government, and all of the local governments, subsidized them by giving them food stamps, government assistance, debit cards, free housing, hotel rooms, and all that. Did that
No,
happen, sir?
that
That
did
did
not
not
happen.
happen. Okay,
No,
That
they
did
did not give them
happen.
food stamps.
so
They already debunked that. They
That
did
did
not give
happen.
them
What are you
food
so
talking
you're
about?
stamps.
saying now
All
you're saying that
illegal
they did.
immigrant is
Okay,
not
so let
real.
me ask you a question. Let me ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. If you're saying that they didn't give them food stamps, why did Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, lie and say that they did?
I mean, I don't know why he said they did, but the government
Maybe
has
you
came
don't know,
out
but
and
these
debunked it. I mean,
governors and mayors are these governors and mayors already admitted to that. So I don't know why what you're
I
Hundred
saying.
they
mean,
cut out. They was
I
getting
mean,
three
the way
hundred
our
fifty dollars
government
a
is set
week
up is real simple. We
per
know
person.
that the House controls the
No,
purse
no, hold
strings.
on. Answer the
That
question.
is
If you're
straight
saying
Republican.
sir,
That's
sir,
straight
you're
Republican.
saying that that did not happen, and the government, the Democratic governors and mayors are saying that it did. They're
Okay,
saying
and
that they
also
did do that for
Congress,
them.
Congress, who you said controls the purse strings, said it didn't happen. They said they did not give money that well it can't even give money by law on food stamps.
Why they can't?
They
Yes,
can
they
only
So,
give
can.
sis,
Sir,
bits
how do
sir.
you
Because
think
they filed
how
for asylum. What are you talking about?
how do these people survive? Who's paying these hotel bills?
because
Who's
the
paying these
House
hotel
controls
bills?
the purse strings.
In
Who's paying these
2021,
hotel
Biden
bills?
Biden
I mean, how are
ordered
But
these
a
again,
people living?
see, this is what I'm
Okay,
saying when I
I'm
talk
gonna let
about
the biz
perception.
go. I'm gonna let the biz
Yeah,
go and let him finish his
let me go.
point, and then
Right.
we're gonna get to some other people.
And this is what I'm
The
talking
biz,
about,
you can
host, when I'm
finish your
talking
point.
about perception. When we're talking about perception, the perception is Democrats aren't for open borders. He never said an open border. Joe Biden always ran on comprehensive immigration reform to change the laws. The reality is, Trump had the House and the Senate when he first came into office. He ran on an open border, said he was going to shut it down. The most Obama ever had was 450,000 people come across. When he instituted all his policies and all that, Trump had over 1 million. So they even doubled on Trump. So his policies don't work. And everybody knows you have to change the laws. If you want to shut the border down through immigration, you have to go through Congress to shut it down. And that's what Biden ran on. Should he kept some
No.
executive
No,
So
orders
let
in
me ask you a
place
before
question,
that was
we
the
against
biz.
against the Constitution? Yes, he could have, but I can't
Sir,
hold him to that because that's not what he ran on.
sir, in 2021, Biden started the parole program January of 2021, and he led over 300 some thousand people in here from Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Cuba. I think it's Cuba. One of those. It's another country. It was 4 different countries, and he allowed all those people over here, and that's where you get like a big number of men that came over here because he came straight from, I guess, jail or whatever he came from, straight to here, straight to, especially where I'm at in California. They were just like, it's a lot of them. They're everywhere. But that happened. Biden did that in 2021.
Okay,
So the
okay, he
biz.
did
Why do
what in
you think that
2021?
why do
It's
you
called the
think they
parole
lost?
program. Look it up, Biden parole program.
Okay, so what about Trump allowing over almost 300,000 Venezuelans on his way out, giving them temporary
What are you talking
what
about?
we're
Biden
gonna
did
status.
do,
that.
hold on, everybody pause,
And,
everybody
and,
freeze.
and what? Oh,
What we're gonna do, unapologetic. You can ask the Biz a question. You've been meaning to do that. Biz, you get to answer her question, and then we're gonna get to my brother Red Blitz. He ain't been able to speak yet. We're gonna get to Red Blitz and see what he got to say about it. So unapologetic, you can answer your question.
Thank you. I was just going to ask to kind of, I guess, kind of level reset the room. Why do you think that the Democratic Party lost? Why do you think they lost?
oh, well, it's simple. I mean, it's perception. They gave a perception, and it's not really based in reality. And
Hmm.
everybody bought the perception that the Republicans was going on. It's nothing new. I mean, straight. I mean, this is fear mongering. It's the majority fear mongering against the minority. Same stuff that happened to us. Same stuff that happened in McCarthyism. I mean, this is nothing new. That's
So
why
you don't
Trump.
think it had anything to do with their policies or ignoring black people? You don't think any of that had anything to do with why they lost?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. When you say policies, everybody
No,
attribute
I'm saying
different
not,
policies.
I'm saying like the policies as in like, hey, these policies harm us, or hey, these policies help us.
But
Like,
that's what.
you don't think it had anything to do with that? Do you think that black people have a want all of these illegals coming into their community and displacing them? Do you think they're for that or against that?
No, no, they're probably against that. We're
Okay,
against
so
that.
why so in that case then when you say fear mongering, these are real people in Chicago and other places that are saying that these people are taking over. We don't
Right,
like that. They're displacing us. So
right, and
why
They're
not look at
gentrifying
it
us out of our communities.
right, and the perception is, and the
why not look at
perception
it
is.
as that's reality. That's not perception, sir. That's reality. That's
No, no,
real.
no, no. What I'm saying is the perception is that the Democrats don't want to do anything about it. The perception is that
What do you
Democrats are
mean the
for open borders.
perception?
That's what
I
the
don't think I
perception
don't
is.
think I don't think that's a perception. I think that's what they were doing. So
No,
it's almost like the Democratic Party tells us, don't believe your lying eyes and ears. Believe what we
again,
say.
look,
That
listen
that
to me.
because you're sitting here trying to tell people that no, it wasn't that. It's the perception that they're doing something for illegals. Are you telling me that all these people are not here?
No,
Is that what you're saying? That
what
22 million? Are you saying the illegals are not in the country?
what I'm saying is what the proof is, what the reality is. Trump
That they're
has
They're
here
Trump
though.
here.
has
That's the
listen.
reality.
The reality is that Trump said that the border was overran and he knows how to stop it, and he
Okay,
couldn't.
well,
It
And
is
then
overran,
hold
sir.
on,
but
listen. I
even
mean, you got to let me finish so you can understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Joe Biden said, in order to stop immigration permanently, to stop it from happening, we have to go through Congress and change these laws because a president cannot stop
They
immigration
can't stop
on himself.
immigration. That's a part of our country. That's to keep the people, fluctuating in and out the country.
Okay,
We can't have
Exactly.
open borders. We got
Uh,
open borders, we'd have no country.
exactly.
we're
A
gonna get
president don't
to
have that
we're gonna
power to
get to
stop the immigration
here's
from
the
happening.
thing. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get to the next speaker. The reason why people, you say it's a perception. Well, the reason why people had that perception is because when Biden got in, he immediately erased all of the things that were the executive orders, like remain in Mexico, that was keeping them out of the country. And then they started flooding in by the millions, and people was all like, hey, what the hell is going on? They started flooding in, and Biden didn't say, oh, that's a bad decision, let me sign an executive order to keep them out. Biden didn't do anything from the executive side whatsoever to keep them out.
Can I
Okay.
respond to
And
that?
then in the last, sir, come on now,
I
let me
said no. I
block
just
this
said
because this
I
this hello.
hello. No, I
I
just said I
blocked
want to
her.
respond when you're
I
through.
blocked her after.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So yeah, that's the problem. You're saying it's a perception, sir. We can literally see with our own eyes these people with tents outside, these people in hotels. The government, the mayors, and the governors are all admitting to this. So it's not a perception. This is a well-known fact that they're able to come over here as the average everyday black American is struggling to make ends meet in this economy, and the government is paying for hotel rooms, paying for debit cards, paying for food stamps, paying for roofs over these people's heads, clothes on their backs, and subsidizing them. This is something that they're even admitting to. So when you say it's a perception, you're saying that as if this is not the reality, but it is.
So what I'm saying, because I'm in Texas. So what I'm saying, the reason why you can see it, and you're in Chicago, wherever you are, I've been in Texas my whole life, is because when they came in, my governor, Greg Abbott, he sent them
And,
to
and,
there,
and let me
to
ask you
there.
why, let me ask you this
And
question. Let me ask you this one very important question. Why did Greg Abbott send them to Democratic cities and sanctuary cities instead of back overseas, back
Can
to
I
their
answer
country?
that real
huh?
quick?
Why did he send them
Hold on. Why?
sanctuary
Let me
cities?
ask Biz. Why did
He,
he do
he,
that?
he don't have the power.
Yeah, because
Right.
Biden pushed back against Greg Abbott
No, that's
deporting
not
them.
true.
Yes, he did. When
Th-
Greg
th-
Abbott, Biden literally sent the National Guard to cut the barbed wires and to open it for them because Greg Abbott was pushing back and fighting against Biden. And Greg Abbott said, okay, if you're going to just allow them to come over here, then we're going to send them over to sanctuary cities then. But
Host, host.
the issue is Biden with his administration allowed them to come over in the first place. So if we want to blame Greg Abbott, we have to go to the source of why they're even on the land in the first place, and that's Joe Biden.
No, no, they're here because of our asylum laws, and a
They're here
president can't
because of
change
Joe
it.
Biden. Because they,
And
if it was
so,
the asylum
and
laws, if it was the asylum laws of the same asylum laws under Trump, because the asylum laws didn't change, but Trump said you can apply for asylum, but you have to remain in Mexico. He signed that executive order, the
For
Remain in
5
Mexico
years.
executive order. Biden came up here, and when Biden was the president, he reversed that. So now you can apply and you can still stay in the country. So
no,
that's why it was the not asylum seeker laws were egregiously abused by millions of illegal immigrants who
listen to what you're
technically
saying,
do
host.
not have asylum status.
Listen to what you're saying, host. Our asylum laws are being abused by illegal immigrants. Joe Biden is saying change those laws.
But it
That's what
would
I'm
not.
saying.
Here's the problem: Joe Biden also let millions of people over here.
He didn't
And
let them
for
in.
those millions of people, we would not have cities with tents outside, and the government
Okay.
and Chicago is in $1 billion in debt. New York is in $1 billion in debt. These major cities are at billions of dollars in debt because of illegal immigration. That would
Because you
not have
guys don't,
happened.
you
That would
guys
Hey,
not
hey,
don't.
have
hey,
happened.
hey, host.
That
Hey,
would
host.
not have happened. Stop. Hold on. That wouldn't have happened if Biden did not allow them to come over here. If he had signed any executive order to stop them from coming over, they wouldn't have been able to come, and we wouldn't have this problem.
It's not true. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. When we start talking about perception versus reality, the way y'all perceive it is not reality. And,
Sir,
and that's where the problem
sir,
is.
do you understand that this is what all this even the Democratic governors are saying this? This is what
I mean, I
you
can't
know
finish though.
the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson is saying that. The mayor of New York, Eric Adams, is saying the same thing I'm saying.
I mean, you're not letting me finish, though. I mean, with what you saying, I might agree with you, but you don't know what I'm talking about. Where the
Okay, what are you
disagreement point
saying,
is?
sir?
The point is
Because we get
that
what
what
you're
I'm
saying.
saying,
We get what you're saying.
Texas has the infrastructure. You guys are not even a border state. Texas is. Texas knows that you don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. So Governor Abbott, in playing politics, are taking the immigrants, sending them, overpassing all these other sanctuary cities, and sending them to where he's sending them to, so he get the exact reaction that he's getting from you.
Okay, now check this out.
He's not sending the
Here-
money because
Here's the point.
because federally. Hold on,
Let's say
let me finish this
let's
point. We've got to
let's
finish
say
this
I
point.
agree with that.
Hold on, we got to finish this point
Okay, go
because
ahead.
Texas get funds from the federal government to subsidize to help with the immigration problem.
No, they
He's
don't.
sending the
Okay.
people to Chicago and not even sending the money.
Okay, sir.
So what I'm saying,
Even if I first off, it's not like that didn't even add up. Okay, but let's
that didn't
say
add up. What didn't
that
add up?
no, it didn't add up. So you're saying that Texas is getting funded for immigrants, and these other states are not getting funded for immigrants, but they have the immigrants. Let me say this. If
All
that's the
border
case, if that's the
states
case, hold on, no,
get
no, no,
federal
no. If
funding.
that's the case, what did Biden do to solve that? Biden should have said, you know what, if that's the case, if Governor Greg Abbott is going to send them to these cities and these cities don't have the infrastructure and the resources to handle this mass immigration, let me close the border to the let me close the borders up. Let me in place the Remain in Mexico order to stop them from coming in like that. Because they've been coming in by the millions for years now.
He
This has been a
can't.
problem for years now. Biden has not addressed this problem at all.
He can't. He doesn't have
He
that
can
power.
because
He doesn't.
yes, he can because he is the reason why it happened when he reversed the Remain in Mexico order.
He didn't reverse remain in
When he
Mexico.
stopped the Remain in Mexico order, that's what allowed them to come over and abuse or finesse the asylum seeker claim. If he would have
The,
reinstated that order, it would have stopped them from coming over and it would have sent them or made them stay in Mexico. But
okay,
he did not do that.
so the Eighth Circuit of Appeals was going to rule that remain in Mexico was unconstitutional.
No,
And this is
sir,
what
it's
this
not unconstitutional. These are not citizens
that's
at
what you
all.
said.
It's
Again,
Hey,
not unconstitutional. If
hey,
it was
host.
unconstitutional, it would the Constitution didn't change. It would have been the same reason why Trump didn't do it. If Trump was able to do it, then it was constitutional. It could pass
it was
legally.
fighting.
It
They was
was passed.
fighting that
It could
under Trump.
it could pass legally, and it was
No,
fine. It
they
could
was
pass
fighting it with
legally,
Trump.
and it was fine. Biden came in there and he cut it. Biden didn't. There was no benefit. Let me ask you: was there a benefit in Biden cutting the Remain in Mexico order? Was
No.
there a benefit?
Was there a benefit? No.
Yes.
I mean, it was going to get
Thank
gutted
you.
anyway.
Thank you, sir. It
It
was
was going
no
to get gutted
benefit in
anyway.
him doing that.
What I'm saying, it was going to get
So,
gutted anyway.
so
Biden
him
always
doing it
ran on
caused the
comprehensive
problem.
immigration reform.
So
He,
he could
that
have
was,
developed
I'm,
comprehensive immigration reform with the Remain in Mexico order still in place.
no, he couldn't have. They was
Yes, he
already
could have.
challenging
Sir, you got to
remain in
look under
Mexico.
Joe Biden parole
The Eighth
order.
Circuit District was already going to rule that that remain in Mexico was unconstitutional. But Joe
It's not,
Biden's
sir.
hold on,
Okay,
Joe
under
Biden's.
what guise?
You
Hold
have
on.
They
to
not
You're
understand,
saying
citizens.
it's unconstitutional. Under
huh?
what guise is Remain in Mexico unconstitutional? How does that violate the United States Constitution?
Because it was inhumane.
Right, right. But what I'm
No,
saying,
no,
if
no,
you
no, no,
show
no,
up,
no, 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 no,
hold up, because if
no.
someone shows up for
As the biz,
asylum,
at the
if
biz, how
if
is it
someone
unconstitutional? What part of the Constitution does it violate?
because if someone shows up in the United States for asylum, then they're going to be let in and they're going to go through the process of asylee. That's the way it works.
How? No, no,
You
no.
don't send somebody.
You're not
You don't.
specifying. You're not
I'm
specifying
just saying.
what part of the
I'm just saying. It's
Constitution it
unconstitutional,
violates. What
huh?
part of the Constitution does it violate?
What part of the Constitution?
Yes, you said it's unconstitutional, so it has to violate the Constitution. What
Well,
part of the Constitution does it
it
violate?
was going to violate the immigration laws in the Constitution. That you can immigrate
Wait,
or
It's going to
what?
asylum or
violate the
something like that.
immigration
One
laws in
of
the
those, whichever
Constitution.
one. I mean, I can look it up for you
They're
if you
not
got to have it.
citizens, sir.
Sir, it
The
was going to
14th
I mean, you have to
violate.
Amendment, my
have it.
man.
Hold
The
on, hold
14th
on.
Amendment. The 14th Amendment, my
Right.
man.
I mean,
Okay, it was
I
not
mean,
going
we
to.
don't
First
know
off, I'm
this.
going to kick you off because you not speak. You be quiet, dude. It was going to. So you're saying remain in Mexico. So you're saying people who legally have no legitimate reason or whose legitimacy for being in this country has yet to be determined. They have no legal right to be in this country. You're saying that it violates the 14th Amendment, even though they have no legal right to be in the country.
I mean, I'll look it up for you if you want to
Okay,
know what it is.
as you do that, we're gonna get to red
But I mean,
blitz.
it's
As you do that, we're gonna get to red blitz because it doesn't. Because if it did, it wouldn't have been able to pass under Trump's administration.
no, it
Red
doesn't
blitz, are
work
you
like
there,
that.
brother?
That's what I'm saying. We don't understand how it works. It doesn't work like that. You can
It
do
does.
anything and then
Yes, it
challenge it.
does.
No, that's what I'm saying is you can do anything in the United States, then gets challenged, and the court is the one that
If it
rules
was
on it.
challenged and if it was cut by if it was cut, that would have been different. But it was specifically cut by Biden, which led to this crazy problem.
Huh?
It was the order was cut. Red blitz, are you there? The order was cut by Biden. It
Yes,
was.
man. Big ups, Afro. Big ups, man. Much success,
Okay, you
man.
got it.
What's
You
up,
got it. You
panel?
got it.
Big ups to all.